Israel-Gaza Iran War News Live Update. Give us the tools and we'll finish, Israeli PM says U.S. Even though the White House disputed the claim, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that U.S. President Joe Biden is keeping weaponry from Israel because his country is fighting for its life in the war against Hamas. Netanyahu expressed his gratitude for Washington's backing during his visit to Israel last week, but he found it inconceivable that weapons or ammunition had been kept back in recent months, according to an English-language video published on Tuesday, which Netanyahu attributed to his conversation with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. According to Axios's reporting citing two U.S. officials, the video infuriated the White House, which drove the Biden administration to scrap a planned Thursday high-level conference with Israel regarding Iran. In a meeting with Netanyahu, U.S. envoy Amos Hochstein reportedly conveyed the administration's frustration directly. When asked about the encounter, U.S. officials took a few moments to react. The White House had earlier rejected reports that any weapons were being withheld, saying that the decision to delay the delivery of some bombs was the only one. According to Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, "We truly do not know what he's talking about when speaking to journalists. We simply do not." The US and EU have branded Hamas as a terrorist organization. On October 7, they massacred over 1,200 Israelis and captured over 250 more, starting the continuing war. The Biden administration has grown more skeptical of Israel's offensive in the Gaza Strip to eliminate Hamas. The Gaza Health Ministry, which is operated by Hamas and does not distinguish between civilians and fighters, reports that over 37,000 Palestinians have been killed. Biden has already shown his displeasure by withholding a shipment of 2,000-pound bombs, and he threatened to do the same last month in the event of a full-scale ground invasion on Rafah. According to reports, Israeli tanks advanced to the town center on May 28 in a series of actions that the IDF characterized as limited and precise. According to Blinken's statement to reporters on Tuesday, all else is moving as it normally would move except for that one shipment. The United States is Israel's largest armaments supplier, but Netanyahu failed to name the specific weapons or ammunition that the U.S. allegedly withheld. Furthermore, the Israeli leader mentioned that Blinken had informed him that the administration is diligently working around the clock to eliminate any obstacles. When I followed up with questions, his office remained silent. Netanyahu, who will speak before the U.S. Congress at the end of July, drew on Winston Churchill's appeal during World War II. What Churchill actually said to the U.S. was, "Give us the tools, and we'll do the job," according to Netanyahu. "And I'll add, if you provide us the tools, we can complete the work much more quickly." Maryland Democrat Chris Van Hollen mocked Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a Tuesday interview, saying, "Netanyahu wants to come here and pretend he's Winston Churchill, and he is no Winston Churchill." Van Hollen has called for a halt to the transfer of offensive weapons to Israel until the Jewish state agrees to criteria on their use. Israeli forces have sufficient weaponry for the Rafah battle and extra supplies in case the northern confrontation with Hezbollah intensifies, according to confidential U.S. officials. According to Tuesday's Washington Post story, two influential Democrats in the House and Senate caved to pressure from pro-Israel campaigners in the White House, approving a massive arms sale to Israel worth over $18 billion RM $84.82 billion. The deal included 50 F-15 fighter jets.